Good afternoon, everybody. Back again. Just a short one today. It's on a story that a subscriber sent to me, who's very active on my channel, gives me a great help, and has always pushed me forward. Thank you, Graham, for that. It's about cannabis. Now, we all know there's many people in this country who would have a far better quality of life, whether with herbal cannabis, medical cannabis, either forms. It does ease a lot of their symptoms for a lot of their problems, including children, not just adults, I might add. And a lot of doctors won't prescribe it, which I find very strange, as they will prescribe other sorts of dangerous drugs, just like they're trying to push forward at the moment, in my opinion. This is about the Police and Crime Commissioner for North Wales, a gentleman called Afron Jones. Very Welsh name. Very ugly person looking at his picture. Now, we all know cannabis is illegal in this country to either grow, use, whatever, unless prescribed by a doctor, and then only in certain forms. Now, I used to smoke cannabis myself, not as a recreational drug. I used to do split shifts, different shift patterns, and I'd be lucky if I was getting 2 hours sleep a night. And that continued after I'd stopped the shift work. But I found that a good spliff before I went to bed would give me it would give me 4 to 5 hours sleep, uninterrupted, which is still good for me now. I don't smoke it anymore, but if I sleep 4 hours a night, I'm very lucky. Now, this guy wants to introduce a trial into prisons of giving the prisoners cannabis, at our expense, obviously, to see if it will cure drug addiction. There's a contradiction in terms straight away. Now, normal members of the public that use it, recreational or for medical purposes, medical purposes, if prescribed, absolutely fine, as long as you can prove that. Anybody else is criminalised for smoking it, possessing it, growing it, selling it. Now he wants to introduce it in prisons. Excuse me from reading from the screen, it just makes it a lot easier than trying to keep information in my head. The prison service has said they've got a zero tolerance on drugs. Now, in a spot check in a prison in Cardiff, upon questioning prisoners, 52% said it was as easy to get illegal drugs in prison as it is on the outside. Now, I've known for years that a lot of prisons used to turn a blind eye to cannabis use, simply because it keeps people more compliant, it acts like a sedative, it makes people easier to handle. But there has been a big rise with drugs in prison, especially these new synthetic drugs, spice, etc. And violence has soared because of that type of drug. So this guy actually wants to introduce cannabis into prisons, even as a trial to start with. Now, you or me would get criminalised for having it, as I said. 9 times out of 10, anybody under the age of 40, if the police want to search your car, it's their go-to excuse. Oh, I think I can smell cannabis. How the hell they can smell it nowadays through these silly face nappies they wear, I don't know. But it's still a Class B drug. So in the eyes of the law, 99.9% of people that have got it, using it, got it on them, they're a criminal in the eyes of the law. Now this guy, many people that have been caught growing it and have been actually put in prison for it, especially the dealers. So this guy is intending to criminalise us for having it and using it, but he's going to give it free to prisoners. A bit of hypocrisy there, I think, no matter which way you look at it. He is standing down from the police commission in May. I've been told it's because he knows he won't get voted back in, basically, but he's using it as an excuse to step down. He wants to use it to try and address the causes of addiction and violence in prison. The dangers of synthetic drugs were highlighted by a case of a 22-year-old prisoner. I won't give his name. He was Welsh, who died in prison in 1918 in Wrexham. No real details, but obviously it was drug related. Whether it was an overdose, I couldn't say. It doesn't actually say in the report. And the report, incidentally, is on a BBC News website. So there you go, mainstream media putting this out. Unbelievable. An inquest later found that there'd been a systemic failure in stopping drugs from entering the prisons. Yeah, I mean, why? Why are you going to give a criminal something that is illegal? What's he going to do when he comes out of prison? He's going to try and go and get cannabis for himself because that's what he's used to smoking. It's, as I say, it's just a short story. It just seems absolutely ridiculous to me that this idiot come up with this. I believe cannabis should be legalised, by the way. As long as it's used sensibly. It's been proved it works in other countries, including many states in America now that have legalised it. But anyway, that's just a short story I felt was worthy of putting a video out about. Let me know your views in the comments, as always. Just say my little furry friend is there. She's asleep at the moment. Hence I've got a bit of peace to do this video. But before I go, as some of you know, I do follow the Patriots movement. I am a patriot. I love my country. Sadly, I couldn't fight for my country. I failed the medical for various reasons when I tried to sign up. But many of my family did. Now, there are several channels out there highlighting the debacle about the illegals. Two of the biggest ones, which I do follow, Active Patriot and Little Veteran. Now, today, YouTube seemed to have got some reports or something about Little Veteran. Somebody's been making malicious reports, from what I can understand. And they've ripped his channels down. So if you are a patriot or you follow the Patriots movement, or even if you just want to help him, he has started a new channel. Nigel Marcham is the title of the channel, and we're trying to get him to 1,000 subs in a day. Other channels are helping because he does do live streams, some very, very good ones exposing what's going on, assisted by the government. And if you feel it's a worthy cause or you'd just like to help the guy out, he does do a lot for the country. Please go and give him a sub. He deserves it for the work he's done over the last 2 years or so. But until then, once again, thank you, Graham, for the heads up on this report. And I'll see you all on the next one. Until then, as always, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. My respects to you all.